Okay, this is my reaction to the face-off between Joseph Parker and Daniel Dubois. Both guys are in position to fight for a world title. Both guys are probably the most improved heavyweights in the world right now. They're both actually in very similar positions. Joseph Parker got stopped by Joe Joyce, and Daniel Dubois got stopped by Alexander Usyk. And he got stopped by Joe Joyce as well. But they both have very similar comebacks. Now, of course, age-wise, Joseph Parker is obviously older. He's more experienced. They are different fighters, but in each of their comebacks, they were both heavy underdogs. Joseph Parker was an underdog against Zhang and against Wilder, and Dubois was an underdog against Anthony Joshua, Philip Hrgovic, and Jarrell Miller. And they've both come through those fights, and they've turned tables in their career. They're both in a prime position now, and the winner of this fight is most likely going to fight for a world title. Who's going to win this fight? I think that, obviously I haven't made my official prediction. This video won't be my official prediction. This face-off is actually going to have a lot to do with who I'm going to pick. But I think general consensus is Daniel Dubois should win this fight because he's younger, he's hungrier. Joseph Parker, he's been fighting for a long time and he's had a lot of tough fights, but he's definitely the type of guy that I wouldn't underestimate. He definitely can beat Dubois. Dubois, he's a strong guy, but I think that he definitely has flaws. And Parker definitely has the IQ to capitalize on a fighter like Daniel Dubois. Now, I've said a lot of times, I've reacted to face-offs before. I like watching face-offs. I like seeing the mentality of a fighter. Before I bet on a fight or before I predict a fight, I like to see how the fighters come into it, their mindset, their mentality, who's hungrier, who wants it more. So that's why I like seeing face-offs, and we're going to check out this one right now.
Do you think this is a tougher fight than AJ?
Nah, I'll make him old on the night.
You think so?
I'll make him old on the night.
You talk too much, man.
100%.
We'll see. We'll see.
So Dubois has obviously got sky-high confidence right now, knocking out AJ at Wembley. So he might be overconfident. That might be something.
This kid is like a machine.
Daniel Dubois! Great shot from Daniel Dubois! Oh, there he goes!
I'm not going to lie, I definitely lost money against Dubois in all of his comeback fights. I bet against him. I put money on AJ, Philip Hrgovic, and Jarrell Miller. So he's definitely proved me wrong. He could do it again if I pick Parker, but I still don't know who I'm going to pick.
Are you not entertained?
Daniel's going to have his hands full. We're going to see a cracking fight.
Two-time world champion sounds beautiful.
What a punch! Joseph Parker can sense the victory!
It only takes one punch to interrupt history.
Let's go.
You are going to see something exceptional on the 22nd of February.
So I'm here with the current IBF heavyweight champion of the world, Daniel Dubois, and the former heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Parker. So Daniel, we saw what you done against AJ. You looked absolutely sensational. Typically fighters, a lot of the time, like an easy one. Was it important for you to have an opportunity against someone who's as credible as Joe?
This is the fight that's going to lead me to, challenging for the undisputed world title. So, I need the tough test, and this is what my team put in front of me. So, I'm confident I'll come.
Yeah, Dubois is just going to fight whoever's put in front of him. He's not exactly matchmaking his career.
And that's the plan, obviously. No one likes to look too far ahead, but...
And he's definitely not ducking anyone. He's had a pretty stiff resume. He's pretty much fought everyone except for maybe Fury.
Unifying all the belts, is that the objective, Daniel?
That's it. Getting all the belts and just being in the best fights, the biggest fights. This is one of them. Joshua was the last one, so I'm on a roll and I need to keep that momentum going, to become the best and prove that I'm the best.
And Joe, this is another chance to become a two-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
How important is this fight for you?
Oh, listen, it's a very important fight. It's a big fight and a big challenge and a big task. You have a fighter like Dubois who's come 3 good wins. Wins that I didn't think he was going to get. And so credit to him for
Me too.
getting those wins in the fashion that he did. I feel like this is going to be the best Daniel Dubois that I want to be fighting. And this is going to be the best Joseph Parker. I've been in form, I've been patient, I've been working hard. I've had, 2 good wins, Deontay Wilder and Zhang, but Dubois is going to bring a different test and a different challenge.
There's a big shot from Joshua. What a shot! Dubois wobbling. Dubois felt there. Joshua's going in for the finish now. Oh, down he goes! Absolutely flattened.
We saw the win against AJ and how good Daniel looked. Did that surprise you?
It did surprise me, and it surprised everyone else because everyone thought that AJ was going to win the fight. There were only a few that were betting with Daniel. But the way that he finished the fight was a sensational knockout. And that's why he won the Ring Magazine Knockout of the Year. So it was good.
I'm going to ask you about his last performance against Zhili Zhang. Get off the canvas a couple of times to get up and do a job. How did you see the fight going into it? Who did you fancy going in?
I thought Parker would win it. Just on his, Zhang's activity in the ring isn't great. He has good moments, but I'm a different animal to Zhang. I'm on you all the time, I'm on you like a rash. I don't stop. So I think I'll just go through him. And
I think he's definitely as confident as he's ever been, Dubois.
that was a good performance. It was a good win, and he's been on form, hasn't he?
Yeah. Do you think this is a tougher fight than AJ?
No.
No?
No.
You don't think so? What do you think about that, Joe?
The fighter that I was back in the day when I fought AJ and all those other fighters, White and Joyce, I'm a totally different fighter. I'm a lot more mature. And I appreciate the position that I'm in. I love what I do, right? And I'm a happy fighter, very happy fighter. I got the best balance of life and seeing family, training hard, eating well, resting good. And I've been building for this opportunity since the last fight. I know it's a different challenge, and I know Daniel's going to bring a lot more work than Zhang did. But we're up for it.
A lot more. See, that's the thing with this fight. The only thing, Parker needs to worry about is that Dubois throws a lot of punches. Zhang and Wilder, even though they're one-punch killer punches, they don't throw punches pretty much a couple of punches around. If they hit you once, you're finished. But they're very inactive fighters. Punch output, very small.
Yeah, there's a good game plan that Andy's working on at the moment. And
so this is the first test Parker has had probably since Joyce.
we've still got 6 weeks before the fight. So a long time to put in some great work and be in a tip-top shape, ready for whatever it is you want to bring.
You mentioned Andy Lee, and I'm a big fan of Andy Lee, as I am a big fan of Don Charles. And I think that since you teamed up with both coaches, there's been a difference in terms of your performances and yourselves as men and fighters. How important do you think, I'll ask you both this question, but how important do you think the coach is going to be on the night?
Listen, my team is very small. I got Andy Lee, teacher, and I got George Lockhart doing strength, conditioning, nutrition. I think having a small team and then having someone like Andy who's going to guide me in this fight with the game plan. It's very important to have a good game plan and execute it well on the night.
What about you, Daniel? Has Don been important to you?
Yeah, to Don, the people my dad's brought in, Kieran, Gaddafi, we've got a good team.
Kieran Farrell, that was a strange one for me because he's obviously a smaller guy. I think he fought at lightweight and stuff, and to see Kieran Farrell, who hadn't really been involved with any big names previous to you, he's done a great job, hasn't he?
100%, bringing that energy, that speed that a lot of heavyweights don't have. He brings that.
I don't think these fighters are going to change their style too much, with the trainers. I think that Parker is going to either outbox Dubois, but if Dubois catches Parker, he'd probably finish him.
That ferociousness, and that's what I need in my fights. And going back to the old amateur days when I used to, 1, 2, tap, in and out, and that's it.
Is that why he's done it? Because, typically heavyweights are just big men, and I see Don Charles as a good coach for heavyweights. He knows how to train heavyweights, but did you want to have that speed about you as well?
A bit of turbo in there. So.
A bit of turbo.
Yeah.
Well done on tonight. God bless. I want my revenge for the robbery in last time. Let's get it.
That was a bad call out. Look at Usyk's face. Usyk is like, this is not the time. This is not the time. Usyk was getting emotional in that post-fight interview. And it was, the worst timing, tone-deaf interruption, probably of all time.
Let's go. Let's go. Where's Frank? Make it happen.
There was a moment after the last fight, so Tyson Fury against Alexander Usyk, where you jumped into the ring and I could see what you're trying to do. You're trying to make a fight with Usyk, but did you find that a wee bit disrespectful because he's got to fight with you first?
Not really disrespectful, and they're always going to try to set up big fights. The same as Wilder and AJ. They try to set that up, and we came in and spoiled the party. So as much as they want to set up big fights, he has to focus on what's in front of him first and what's in the present time right now.
Obviously, the landscape's changing. We've just heard there that Tyson Fury has announced his retirement. So we talked to Daniel already about trying to unify. That's the objective. What's your next moves if you beat Daniel?
That's everyone's goal, is to be in boxing, to be a world champion, to unify. I'm fully focused on one thing, and that's this guy in front of me. When I'm done with him, then I can move on and think of other things. But for now, it's just him.
Daniel, are you the new heavyweight king in the UK? Would it be fair to say that?
Yeah, I've seen myself as putting myself through with this win as number one. You know, up there with all the top names. All the old dinosaurs are starting to move on, and I think he's one of them. He's been in many hard fights, and he has got many miles on the
just
clock.
begun. And I found the formula that works for me, and I've only just begun. It's crazy to be 33 years old and only loving it and enjoying it way more now.
Yeah.
And I'm a happy fighter. Very
that's
happy.
not an old man for a heavyweight anyway.
Really
33.
I'm just coming into my prime.
Yeah.
I'll make him old on the night.
You think so?
I'll make him old on the night.
You talk too much, man.
100%.
He talked too much. He said not talk at all. So it's actually good that he's saying a little something now. Now, both these guys actually don't talk too much. They're both pretty humble fighters.
Well, I think there's a
trash talk is minimal.
respect here between you two
There
guys.
is respect.
Would I say that?
But I am going to win. I want to win.
Yeah.
No, I've been building from this house since I started boxing. So,
Good
from
on
the
you.
age of
Well
7.
done.
So
That's great.
I'm ready, more than prepared.
Well, save it for the 22nd of February.
But do you respect them, Daniel, don't you?
I respect all the fighters that get in the ring, and I respect them all. When you put them gloves on, it's a real game, a real sport, gladiator sport. So there's respect there all the time.
Clearly, both of you are very, very confident. I'll ask you first, Daniel. What do you think what's Joe's best attributes?
He's a fighter. He's a good fighter. He's like a veteran. So he's been in many battles, and
His experience, I suppose.
his
Yeah.
experience. That's it.
If I was going to flip that and say, what's the worst thing he does? Is there anything you can exploit?
I won't give it away now. No, I'm just ready to fight. I think my energy, my speed, and everything will expose these weaknesses.
Same to you, Joe. What do you think? What do you think Daniel does really well?
He's got a good engine, a good jab, and he's found some self-belief.
I think they both have a good engine. I think Dubois has got more power. Joseph Parker might be quicker. But I think that Joseph Parker, I don't know if he has the punch resistance that he used to have when he fought AJ. So I think that if Dubois connects, like Zhang connected a few times and he went down, Wilder didn't connect at all. So if Dubois connects, I don't know if Joseph Parker is going to be able to take it. But if he can't find Parker, then Parker cannot box him.
Confidence. But it all stops soon.
How do you win the fight? And
I've said it before, I'm going to be too smart. Precision.
I'm going to
Deliberate.
mess up all these plans, destroy them all, and just go through them. Everything he brings, I'll be more, stronger, faster.
He's going to try. You try. You are going to try your best.
We'll see, though. We'll see. We'll see.
respect to both of you for taking the fight, and may the best man win. Do we get a handshake?
No, after the fight.
After the fight, okay.
That's it. Both these guys, they're not really too intense. They're not really disrespectful. I think right now you have to favor Dubois in this fight. So, closer to the fight, I'll make my decision. And my money will be on one of these two fighters. But yeah, there's my reaction to the face-off, Dubois-Parker.